with that being said, let's move on to, it's the hottest topic in all of football right now, and that's Davante Adams. Should I say the Las Vegas Raider Davante Adams, who there could be a major trade happening in just a few moments, and I want to announce it on air so you guys can hear. But let's talk about fantasy first, because there's a lot to unpack here, right? We got to talk about the Packers side of the ball. We got to talk about the Raiders side of the ball. So let's talk about his new home. Although regression is likely for Davante Adams, is he still that guy that is going to be your first pick? Like, is he the first wide receiver off the board with Tyreek Hill? Those two guys have been duking it out for the last 2 or 3 seasons in fantasy. They go late in the first, early in the second. They're the first wide receiver off the board. Do you see that happening next year in redraft leagues? Jose, you're shaking your head?
No, I don't have him. I'm honestly wondering if he's top 5 now. And then listen, hold on. It's not even a knock on Derek Carr. Derek Carr I think he's definitely decent listen, he's not Aaron Rodgers, but he can support a top option. The problem is you got Waller. You have Renfro had a breakout season, major breakout. He's not going away. You got Davante Adams. They still love to feed the ball to Jacobs. I don't know how the new coach is going to be there, but is it McDaniels? Is that the new coach?
Yes, sir.
So he comes from that Patriots run first football, so we don't know. Listen, all right, just hear me out. Chase or Adams? I'm going Chase. Justin Jefferson. Go ahead.
No. I'm listening. You were going to rapid fire. Go ahead.
Yeah. Chase, Justin Jefferson, Cup. I don't think there's any debate. I'm taking those 3 over him. Okay, then that leads me to Debo. Debo, I'm taking over him for sure with Trey Lance. And now it's like, okay, I don't know. Davante Adams, there's some other guys in there I really like too. Tyreek Hill is still a factor. I mean, CeeDee Lamb now with Amari Cooper out of the picture. Listen, he's definitely not going to be my number 1 wide receiver. He's probably right around 4 to 7 for me.
4 to 7 is still top 5 fringe, right?
Yeah.
He finished number 2 last year behind Cooper Kupp. No one's going to beat that. I can agree with what you're saying. Hunter Renfrow finished as a top 10 wide receiver last year. He's not going to repeat that with Davante Adams there as well. But I do think Derek Carr is capable of supporting 2 top 25 receivers. And if that's not a hot take, then what is I think he can support 2 top 20 receivers in
2
Davante
top 20 receivers
and Hunter Renfrow.
And a top 3 tight end?
And a top – well, see – Waller could have an off year like he did last year and still be top 5. So I don't really look at the tight end situation that way. But when you have a talent like Darren Waller, yeah, I think he could be top 5 easy. So I think he can support all of those guys. Justin, what do you think?
I couldn't disagree more. The dude is – I would take him over Jamar Chase. I would debate on Justin Jefferson, and I would take Kupp over him. And Hill's all the way down there. The thing you're missing is that Adams is a PPR beast. The dude goes for long yardage, but the dude is also a dink and dime and breakaway. So I don't think that anyone has a problem here besides actually Hunter Renfrow. He's not going to see nearly the target share that he saw last year, even with regression in mind, even lower because Davante is going to eat it all up. I would have no problem. Carr throws a lot. Josh Jacobs is not a bum, but he's halfway decent, so I'm not worried too much about him ball hogging it all day. The dude is just the best route runner in the league, so I'm still happy to take him top 3 receiver easily. I wouldn't even think twice.
I watched his introductory press conference with the Raiders the other day. It was like 30 minutes long, and then like Max Crosby's like extension signing was like 8 minutes long. So it's just kind of funny to see where the time was delegated. But he mentioned something in there, and then obviously it was on Twitter like all after that. He said something along the lines of, obviously him and Derek Carr go way back. What I was going to say is that he mentioned something along the lines of, I'm a volume receiver. I'm going to get volume, and Derek's going to feed me the ball. I have no doubt about that. So I don't know. Sometimes they're all talk, but when you've led the NFL and wide receiving yards and touchdowns and catches, or at least in the top 3 or 5 over the last, 8 years or so, got some credibility to your name. Yeah. What about Derek Carr? Viable in Superflex leagues. Is he a top 12 quarterback that you can deploy in redrafts? Let's see. Off the top of my head, we got Justin Jefferson, Joe Burrow, Stafford.
Wait. You said Justin Jefferson.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what I'm trying to say, though. Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Matthew Stafford, Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson.
I think
name some of the big ones. Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. There's 7 right there. Is he a top 12 guy? And I know I'm forgetting like Lamar Jackson. I'm forgetting.
I think Derek Carr is going to be that guy that homers draft, and then by game 3 or 4, everyone's going to want to pick up because their dude probably bunked out a little bit. Injuries happen. Like Kirk Cousins. No one really wanted to draft Kirk Cousins, but he was very good throughout the whole year, and I don't see why Derek Carr can't do similar things.
What's funny is he finished 13 on the year, right? So like the case for that is strong because he did it last year without Davante. He could do it better with him, But what you just said is exactly the opposite. The homers drafted him last year, right? And then by week 3 or 4, everybody wanted him. But then when everybody wanted him, he went on like a 6-week hiatus and like stunk up the field. But yet, because of those first 4 weeks, he was still like top 4 or 5 in yards per game.
Didn't they also lose really Waller during the early part of the season?
Yeah, they missed Waller, not to the early
got
part,
into
but like
trouble
in the middle of the season. Yeah, so I think with everyone healthy, this has the chance to have a lot of fantasy assets there. Like we just talked about 5 guys, and I think that's sometimes hard to do on particular teams. And if they're all relevant, like I think they could be, and again, I might be a little biased, then Raiders football is going to be exciting to watch in 2022.